I'm Nicole Butler. I'm the Senior Manager of Digital Marketing, in charge of the web channel, which includes blueplanet.com, Ciena.com, and the global versions of Ciena.com.
And I'm Chinedu Makpuluma. I work on the web team, so I support Nicole, working on Ciena.com, blueplanet.com, and the global sites, and I also help out with, accessibility, which I'm really passionate about, So.
So Ciena is a network communication technology company that specializes in both hardware and software that provides network technology to our customers in a wide variety of verticals. So anything from the tiny little plug that allows you to switch between different networks to big cables that run underneath the ocean that connect us to other continents. So a wide variety of products and services and software that basically allow any of our clients to run their networks and provide a network to their customers. In terms of who we're trying to reach on the website, again, it's a big audience. We're looking at, when we look at the strategy for the website, we're trying to speak to everybody from the C-suite level to engineers to service providers to, we're looking at very different touch points in terms of the audience and trying to change or try to scale our message to be able to talk to those different audience members that might come in from the different points in the buying process or different points in the sales funnel. Those that are not at all familiar with Ciena, those all the way to those who are very familiar with us, who know exactly what product they're looking for and just want that product page. So we're looking at those who just want to kind of understand what Ciena is and how we operate and what services and equipment and products we provide, to those who are very familiar with us and need the latest and greatest information on products and services and software. We are also looking at, right now with the economy the way that it is, we have a large audience for the careers section and bring a lot of traffic to our careers pages on our site, as well as investors and media who are looking for the most up-to-date information as it relates to our earnings. So we're sort of running the gamut on our audience and the different touch points. So that brings us a challenge when it comes to our messaging and our strategy. We have to think about all of those different audience segments as we build and develop our websites. One of the biggest changes to the website or to any of our digital properties over the last couple of years has been around sustainability, accessibility, our purpose, how the company as a whole is addressing those areas, not only from a recruitment standpoint, but also from the sales side. They want to understand what's our impact on the environment, what's our impact on our people with everything going on in the world. So one of the biggest changes that we've made over the last year and a half is a very robust sustainability and accessibility section to our site. But then also just in terms of accessibility and diversity and inclusion, making sure that our site is compatible with and accessible to all different levels of users, whatever their ability is. So those have been some really big changes that we've made over the last year and a half, 2 years on the website. Yeah, I think from a business perspective, one of the biggest challenge right now that Ciena has as a company, and we know that our competitors are having, is with supply chain. And the more information that we can put on our digital channels, especially the website, through our blogs or news press release, is how we're approaching the supply chain and giving our customers the confidence that we can deliver. Obviously that's very much, a lift on the sales side, but how can we as digital channel managers and through our digital channels and vehicles, how do we help support the sales team as they're communicating with our customers and helping them build that confidence that we can deliver with so many issues with the supply chain right now. That's some kind of the number one business issue that we're running into right now, that everybody is. But it's also just continuing to build that trust with our audience members through the website, which is where they go first. If it's not through a campaign that they've been served up through our channels, then they're searching for our website or specific articles in the press center and with our blogs to help address some of those issues, or at least instill some confidence or some peace of mind through the thought leadership and the information that we're putting out through those channels. So we're here to support our sales team. We know they have a huge burden in just trying to make sure that their clients are happy and their customers are happy, and we're here to support them in any way that we can. So a lot of work on, the website does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of traffic and making sure that people can get the information that they need. In terms of challenges for us, is the amount of work. I mean, everything's gone digital, where it's been that trend for a long time. But over the last 2 years, it's quadrupled, and everybody's home. They're doing a lot less business travel, although that is picking up. So a lot of the work on the sales side has to go through a digital channel, and all of our digital channels always end up on the website. So there's a lot of heavy lifting for our team and just our platform in general. Like we have to look at overall traffic and making sure that we have a platform that can sustain and handle a lot of traffic. Year over year, we've had double the amount of traffic to our website. And a lot of that is on purpose. It's through paid media, but it's also a lot of organic search as well. So we're putting a lot of pressure on our website and have to be able to scale to that amount of traffic, as well as just have confidence that it's going to keep up. We sort of have gotten used to some cracks in the platform or cracks in the system in terms of, is our platform stable enough? Are we able to handle this? But I think we're in the same boat as a lot of people, where we just have not seen this type of traffic increase. Luckily for us, it was sort of over time. So it wasn't just all of a sudden one day, a huge spike in traffic. It happened a little bit at a time. We were able to kind of monitor it and scale it and not feel like it was going to, a little bit of spike in traffic was going to take us down in a day. But, it was gradual over time. And I think we were able to adjust and scale ourselves to anything that might happen. But luckily for us, I don't think we saw any issue with an overnight spike in any traffic that would cause an issue. In terms of starting to migrate to a new platform, first of all, our previous platform was going to be sunsetting, so we had to. But even before we got that announcement that they were going away, we started to look at different options, mainly because we felt we could see the wheels start to come off, or the cracks starting to split a little bit with our platform that we were on previously. We had been on it for 10 or 12 years already. And that's a long time to be on one platform. It served us very well. And it was a very, at the time that we launched, it was, it met our needs, and they were also willing to make enhancements or listen to our suggestions in terms of how to scale the platform to our needs. We also had some agency partners in development that help us add to our specific instance of that platform to work with our needs. But it started to get to that point where we could start to feel the age of the platform, and the updating wasn't happening as much, and the enhancements weren't happening as much. So we started to get into a situation where our development partners were having to put Band-Aid fixes on things. We would have to, kind of put, custom fixes that started to make me a little bit nervous. I call them Band-Aids on bullet wounds, where you kind of fix it and hope for the best, and hope that, the hole doesn't hit the bucket part and, and spill all the water. But, about that time when we really started to feel that those fixes weren't going to sustain is when we got the announcement that they were going to be sunsetting. So it put our research into a new platform on high speed, and we were able to start that process. Around the same time that we were told, or we were starting to research new platforms, we were also looking at, the redesign of the website. Currently, our current site design is about 6+ years old. It's gotten to the point where it's hard for us to incorporate any new innovative technology or new innovative user experiences on the site, because we're kind of locked into the template that we have. The existing, or excuse me, the previous platform that we were on allowed us to sort of build pages with components, and we were able to add on to a page without having to redesign the whole page. However, we started to outuse those components, and not being able to allow for us to incorporate some new user experiences like personalization or interactivity. So it really has boxed us in terms of the overall design and user experience of the site. So as we were starting to unpeel the layers, we thought, okay, well, it makes, normally it would make sense for us to do a redesign and a content migration at the same time. However, the sunsetting of our previous platform kind of put that one into high speed, and we decided to treat them as two different projects. So it was apparent that we needed to do the migration as what we were calling a lift and shift, in terms of taking the existing design of the site and then putting it on Squiz with the new platform, and then approaching the redesign from there. And that for us as a company was the best approach, because this 1-year project would have turned into 2+ years if we were trying to figure out the design and the platform at the same time. So luckily we were able to just move everything over exactly as it is and onto the Squiz platform. And now that we're comfortable on the Squiz platform, we've started the process of a new redesign for the site.
The top 2 things 2 to 3 things we were looking for when we started this, journey. I remember Nicole and Corey saying, we must, we want a multi-tenant SaaS, platform, or something very close to something close to it as possible. So that was one, because I know coming from the Red Dot days, Corey used to have nightmares when they used to do server patches and all that. I came in after clickability was implemented. So, he, that still stayed at the back of his mind, so he wasn't going to, it's, if it wasn't a multi-tenant SaaS, it was almost like a deal breaker, and the other thing was, the Okta SSO authentication, because IT had started pushing for Okta, and with clickability, our previous platform, we couldn't do Okta authentication, so we are looking for something, that would help us get into the CMS, on our get into the CMS way better than we used to have it in clickability, because in clickability, from an authentication standpoint, we had to download the host files on our machines, or we had to ask clickability to whitelist our IP addresses, so at the point, it started becoming a pain, started becoming very 2000-ish, so we wanted to move away from that. But aside, I think the last thing is the overall ease of use in building and updating pages, and how flexible the new platform was going to be able to meet our ever-changing business needs. So we started the search by looking at I don't want to say the top 10 CMSs, or the top the 10 widely used CMSs in the market. We looked at the Gartner Magic Quadrant. We talked a lot with our developers based on the experiences from using various CMSs and what they knew about the CMSs out there. So while we were looking at that, while we were doing this research, funny enough, Squeeze was placed high on the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and we looked back a bit and found out that, Funnelback, which was the internal search tool we're using, is Squeeze is like the parent company. So we said, why don't we, give these guys a try, since we like the way, we liked, the way we went, the Funnelback works for us, and the implementation, when we were implementing Funnelback on the site, it was very seamless, and it was a very good implementation. So we said, why don't we give these guys a try? So Squeeze was part of the final 6 CMSs we started talking to when we started doing the vetting process for the demos. So all through the process of vetting this the CMSs, Squeeze, we always laugh about it, as Squeeze scaringly answered all our questions, all the hard questions, use cases, and scenarios we threw throughout you guys. And even with answering that, the ease with which you guys answered those questions or provide different solutions for use cases and scenarios was very, great, so that was, one of the reasons why we decided to go with you guys instead of, the other guys. And, the ease in which you guys were flexible enough to, meet our business needs, or, customize stuff for us based on the way we've been doing stuff, or based on the way we want to transition for the future. Our previous platform clickability really helped us. I know at the time when, we started using them as a CMS provider, it was, I know, I wasn't there during the, the process to choose the CMS in 2010, but I know the guys said, it was the best in class at that time. So that was why, it was chosen above, other competitors, but clickability really helped us, in all honesty, because it helped us set the tone for our globalization and localization journey. Because at the time, we just had gone through an acquisition that gave Ciena a global footprint that took us from a North America focused company to more of a global company. And then we were trying to figure out what we were going to do with the globalized pieces, but as the platform started to age due to its changing ownership, I think about 3-4 times in the last 4 years, we found out that the product development roadmap, started lagging, and it started getting difficult to do things in the in this ever-changing digital landscape. But as we started to feel the age of the platform, due to the to a lot of due to there not being a lot of development, and it's we not being able to do stuff, modern, cool things, we're not being able to do, as we started to feel the platform age due to we not being able to do a lot of cool things, it started getting harder to implement, things that we wanted to do, or wanted to see, on our websites. So, Clickability uses the Velocity programming language, which also it's not a very popular programming language. And with the parent company not making a lot of enhancements, developers started looking other ways. So there are very few developers out there we could work with. And I think as at the time when we were jumping, when we were leaving Clickability, I think based on the people we were the developers we were working with, it was only 2 developers at that time who knew how to use who knew the back end of the Velocity programming language. I think, the whole digital marketing team, I know we on Nicole's team were the power users. So I would say, looking, if my memory serves me right, looking through the number of folks we wanted to get licenses for, I would say about 20, 30 people, but it could be shy of that. But, the main power users are, I think, the 5 or 6 of Nicole's team.
So at Ciena, when we work with other outside agencies or development companies, we like to look at our client-vendor relationships more as partnerships. So we have a couple of separate outside third-party agencies that we work with in terms of development support. We look to that partly because we've got now four full-time employees on the web team, but we also look for different expertise or different innovation channels for us to be able to build on the website. So we do work with third-party agencies to help us with development support. So one of the challenges that we have when we started to plan out the roadmap for the migration was, how do we get everybody to work as one team? Well, we've got 2 development agencies. We've got our team and our auxiliary team, including IT and other stakeholders at Ciena, plus we've got Squiz, your teams. So how do we work all together? And we really did appreciate and find a good way to work together with Stephanie and the project management team at Squiz to be able to pull us all together and work as one unit. I think at first it was a little bit of a challenge to figure out who was doing what, but soon we were able to develop what roles everybody had and really worked as one team. I don't think you could really know who was with Ciena or who was one of our agency partners. We all really worked together as a team, and we're committed to getting the migration done within a specific amount of time. So we treat our vendors as partners, and we expect the same back. And in this situation, it definitely worked as one cohesive team. Everybody had their roles and their status updates and attended weekly meetings, and in some cases bi-weekly meetings, and really worked together as one team. So we really appreciate when our vendors are willing to work with us in the same partnership, and Squiz definitely did that for us during migration.
One that comes to my mind readily, because I know it's something we've just done lately, is the ability to make, enhancements on the fly with JS. In our previous platform, since Velocity was, a kind of not a very popular language, there had to be a lot of, workarounds to do stuff. But, since we came to Squeeze, we could easily make, enhancements on the fly, and just the thought, that, we're not going to ever lack a pool of developers, to work with on the back end as we scale. It's very soothing to the mind, In the previous platform, personalization was something that we had always wanted to do, but for some reason we couldn't do it, even though the previous platform had a personalization tool. For some reason, they couldn't just get it going, and so that kind of killed the appetite with personalization. And personalization back in the day used to be like a cool feature, but now it's almost like something that's needed in today's digital ecosystem, where you're trying to what I say, personalize content or personalize web experiences for different users. So it's not like a one size fits all. But I know of late, while we were moving over to Squeeze, Nicole started that personalization work. So I'm going to allow her to talk more about that, so I don't so that she can do it justice.
One of the challenges we still face with personalization is with our current design. And so when I mentioned that we're working on the redesign, that's one of our top objectives, is to incorporate layouts and templates and overall look and feel that incorporate opportunities to add personalization to every page on our website. So we're still working through that, but when we're doing the requirements for migration, the integration with personalization was very seamless. There were a handful of meetings that just to make sure that our needs and our tools that we use for personalization integrated well with the platform and our instance of the platform. So obviously that was a big selling point for us in choosing Squiz as a platform, but then also in the migration and implementation process, it was almost as if it was meant to be there. Previously with our previous platform, like Ciena mentioned, personalization just was kind of the cool factor, but there was still a lot of development work needed in order for us to implement that. So again, when I was talking about sort of those band-aids that we were putting on our old platform, that just to kind of make things sort of work, but wasn't really native to the platform, really made all of us nervous. So once we migrated and it was seamless, and it was a really it was an integration that was part of the platform, made us all feel a lot better. And I know that since we've launched, we've been able to scale and implement a lot more of the personalization opportunities that we wanted to do, and we'll be able to do that even more with the redesign.
I think for me, the impact, for Ciena and, for the team, and, the peace of mind that, we have a tool that will allow us to do cool things, and not just having a tool that will also have, the support of Squeeze, because, we always come up with things that we want, and, we're reaching out to you guys, and you guys are coming back with, solutions, not just solutions, or, different ways in which we could do it, and different ways we could do it, not just do it, but do it efficiently. I think for Ciena for the digital team as a whole, I would say the overall support, we get from Squeeze professional services, and I'll say probably, I know we bug Arthur a lot, but, Arthur has been, awesome. I know I'm dropping a name, but, Arthur has been awesome, and you guys have been awesome, so.
One other impact that I've noticed is the speed at which we can build pages. So on our previous platform, it took quite a while. There were a lot more steps involved in the page build process. My team is now able to build pages faster and more efficiently. And for me personally, that's taken a lot of projects off of my plate. I like to get in there and help build when I can and to help out. But that's why I have the smart team that I have, is because they know how to get those pages built quicker than I do. And now that we're on Squiz, they're able to build those pages faster and more efficiently. And we've been able to scale our project load a lot, since I did mention that we've, over the last 2 years, that a lot of our marketing initiatives have gone even more digital than they have before. We've seen a huge increase in just the amount of projects coming to us. So having a platform that allows us to build pages faster and more efficient has really made that workload a lot more, a lot easier for us to be able to do and keep up with. In terms of reporting, since we've been on the Squiz platform, it's just the reporting in general. So we're able to build our own reports, and as part of our enhancements that we've been working on and being able to scale the platform to our needs, we've been able to build report suites that allow us to look at productivity, how many pages we're building or editing in a week or a month. And so now we're able to track that, and we're able to report to our management on how we're doing, how effective or efficiently we're getting pages built, how we're able to scale to be able to service our internal customers' needs, and be able to get pages built for them quicker. But it allows us to really understand where we might need some more help. Our leadership is always looking for any support that we need, and being able to put a number to how much work we're producing has been really helpful in those discussions. We're just starting those reports, so we don't have anything to measure it against, but it will allow us to kind of continue to track and understand how volume has increased over time.
And if I could just chime in, an example I'll give is our email team usually churns out weekly, news digests every week. And I know it takes them about 45 minutes just to go through the HTML, but, with Squiz now, with the way we've configured it with the help of our developer, by doing it very template, they are doing it in like 10, 15 minutes, and all that. So, these are some of the incredible, things that, we've seen, lately, based on, how things are being done more efficiently.